Okay. Reading recommendations in comic hall, library hall. This might be one of the, not like the last ones, but one of the last ones where I get a lot of books. And that's because I'm starting to look for a job. And then, mainly I've had it forced upon me, but, yeah, so I'm not going to have as much time to read, so I'm probably... It's only because I don't think I'll have as much time to read the thousands of books I get, you know? It takes me all day to read the pile of books that I get per week. Of course, like, I'll finish them and then I'll have more time, but most of the time, you know. Alright, let's get on with it, because I want to get back to reading. Read as much as I can. This first one, I never thought I'd see. I almost put this into an interloan, as is. As is? I don't know. But that's Jean Lewin Yang's Boxers. I'm not a big fan of his artwork. I feel like it's too, like, cartoony, and it's too, like a spoof. Like, the artwork they do, like, when they're doing the artwork they would do when they were like, doing, like, a comedy skit, like a spoof, like, it's like comic, like, Peanuts kind of thing, like the comic strip kind of artwork. But I like his writing. But it's the artwork. And it's not terrible artwork either. It's just that it's too cartoony for me. Wind Book 1, the only reason why I took this one out again was because Book 2 was in. And no, and today would have been the perfect day, because there was a bunch of new books. And it would have been the perfect, at the library themselves, as is, at the least. I'm trying to say, like, on top of the books I got, they also had these. And it would have been the perfect day had I not had to be, like, because they're like, you gotta apply to places, and... So, like, I feel like a lot of my time is devoted to other stuff, not just reading, you know, because they're trying to make me grow up. But it's not like, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm already getting too personal. I like this to be the escapism, and now I'm just... Right. Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I like his, he did New Kid and the sequel. This is clearly not, in that same area. It's a different kind of story, like a different genre, a different, like, feel altogether. Wonder Woman Volume 5, the first volume that wasn't Greg Rucka's run, which that always confuses me when they'll do that. I always wonder if it's not, the people themselves. What was I saying? Oh, it's not DC themselves that does it. I know, I'm a bit distracted. Open the book. Sin City, Volume 4. And of course, I gotta go here to see what it's called. I think it's that Yellow Bastard or something. Yeah, that Yellow Bastard. Sin City, Volume 4. Almost done with that series. I think at least. Dark Horse does like to do that thing when they're like, oh, it's not over yet. Here's another series. Oh yeah, this one took forever to come in. I just had it there, and I probably won't end up liking this series. But La Lobo New 52 by Cullen Bunn. I don't know why I got this, honestly. There's no real reason why I got it. I think I remember kind of liking the Orphans issue I'd read. I didn't love it, but I was like, yeah, that was good enough. I guess. I don't know. Now, one of these is like a single issue, I think, and I wonder which one it is. I don't see it in here. But that is a single issue of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. See, I had put in... I knew I needed Volume 4, and the first thing to show up was Issue 4. I don't know why they had that. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I'm gonna be like a Mylar. I completely forgot about it. But I had meant to, put it back. I don't need it. And then have an extra book out. My account isn't the best. Moon Girl and... So yeah, Volume 4. A series I'm glad to see, well, at least have Volume 1 of, and that's not Scott Snyder's, I wish it was, Scotty Young's I Hate Fairyland. Series that everyone seems to absolutely love from Scotty Young, and I like Scotty Young's Middle West, and I still cannot find Volume 3. I meant to buy the series myself, buying one volume of a series when the library had two out of the three is really annoying. I guess it's better than with Scalped. Skyward Volume 2. Here There Be Fireflies or something like that. I don't know. This series was so damn good. And I think I mentioned before how Joe Henderson, I had wanted to reread that after buying the other one by him. So I'd say do for all the books. Am I saying that? Black Widow Volume 3, Last Days. Outcast Volume 2. Now, this is a reread because they finally had Volume 8. And that's why I wait on these books. You never know. They could just be waiting on a copy or something like that. Or waiting for the library to get a copy, and then they'll be able to distribute it. Doctor Strange Volume 2, The Last Days of Magic. This might be the one. I didn't even see it here. Oh, I see it. Oh, so they do it like this. It's like a weird hardcover version of just that issue. Huh. It's different. Yeah, but it kind of annoys me because I don't need this. I don't. Wicked and the Divine, Volume 8. Now, I had mentioned before, I don't know if I had mentioned it until I started reading it, but Volume 7 I thought was Volume 8, where it's a completely different thing, and it's, I did actually. I had mentioned how, I'm pretty sure I did, I mentioned how it was, oh, I lost my train of thought. I had mentioned how, oh, Volume 8 was like, it wasn't continuing the story, a bunch of one-shots they had, and they put them all together in one volume. I thought that was the last volume, but it wasn't. Volume 5 of the Green Arrow Rebirth series, Hard Traveling Hero. Do not deserve that title, because it makes me think of the, reminds me of the much better, Green Arrow, Green Lantern. That's just to say that, I mean, obviously it was better because it was written by a powerhouse writer, but so it makes sense that'd be better. I'm not saying that it was, making sure this was issue by issue. And I know it's really weird, but I don't like when it's all in one. I like when it goes by chapter, especially now. The Other Side by Jason Aaron. I almost bought this myself because I was looking up when I was thinking of actually. Yes, I did upload it. Duh. When Undiscovered Country, when I gotten that book, I was looking up other books, and I was kind of like, I want to go by the authors too, because I had no idea what to get for Image, instead of getting Undiscovered Country. I wanted something that was at least 2 or 3 volumes, not like 15 volumes, because again, I'm a completist. Harley Quinn, I almost bought that one. I'm glad when I looked it up they had it. Harley Quinn by Carl Kessel. This is definitely a different Harley Quinn than we're not that we're used to, but it's the more like cartoony version. It's not only the animated series version, I don't think. At least I hope not, because I like when it's separate. Like I might finally buckle down and get down to reading the Batman Adventures comics, but I think for the most part, like it's just kind of like it's kiddie stuff, Not that it's a bad thing, obviously, but it's not my cup of tea, if you will. And the last few, I know, a lot of books this time, as it always has been. Oh, that's why. I was like, why is there only like 3 books in here? Ooh. Alright, so we'll do the first one. This is Inhuman, and it's the only one that has this thing here, I think. I think it's just saying, yeah, Warren Corners. This is Inhuman by, what's his face? Charles Soule. I hope you don't need to know too much about his ongoing series enough. Yes, this is Inhuman series. Because I read 1 volume of that series, and I already forget what happened in it. I think there's like at least one Inhumans book that is actually regarded as a good book, and not just the one I had read before, the Paul Jenkins run. I think there's more than that. Second Coming, Volume 1. This was one that I always saw at Newbury Comics and never picked up. And I think I know exactly, because this is written by Mark Russell, I think I know exactly what's going to happen in this book. Keep in mind, I have not read a single issue of this series. What I think is going to happen in this book is it's obviously the second coming of Jesus Christ, and he's going to hate how the world has turned, how everyone's so racist and sexist, and, you know, one of those books. I almost guarantee it's going to be one of those books. Almost a guarantee. One of those books where they're like, oh, everything is terrible. Everything always has been terrible in society. That's why you have comic books and movies and video games to relieve the stress of life. And Spider-Gwen, Volume 1, Greater Power. Now on to the reading recommendations. I kind of gotta hurry up because I kind of want to be able to read. But I'm not trying to rush myself, of course. I do like doing this video. It's the whole point why I do it. I could just have done a separate video. First Man, the movie, was a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be super slow, and it was, but not in a bad sense, if you will. It wasn't slow to the point like it was a slog to get through. It was just, you know, sometimes it would be slower pace. But it's more like it was the slow burn movie, not like a slow pace movie, but it doesn't need to be slow. And there's no reason for it to be slow. No, this was slow for a reason. It was still interesting, even when it was slow. I used to know. Take a drinking game every time I said the word slow. But I really enjoyed it. It's definitely, if you like Damien Chazelle's his work, you'll like this one. And if you're just interested in Neil I almost said Neil Diamond, Neil Gaiman, Neil Armstrong. There's a lot of Neils out there that are big names. The Wake. Yeah, almost reread this book. Because I forgot a lot of what happened already in this book. And it's because a lot of it happened. A lot of it's very confusing. There's a lot of, like, stuff that goes on. And there's two stories in one story. I mean, they break it up into parts. But it's almost like the second story doesn't even relate to the first. I mean, it does. But it's like, it's one of those things that something happens and you're like, what? Makes sense why it did. And I feel like if I had realized, you know, what was going on, but at first, I would have been like, oh, I see now. I did, but then I was like, I don't know, something's different. I feel like they should have structured the book a bit differently, is what I'm trying to say. I actually have been perfect, so I did that, I think. I don't know. I already want to reread it, because it was mainly because I got an Undiscovered Country, and, I had, because The Wake is a lot similar to the Undiscovered Country. Trillium was much better than the first time I read it. There's a damn good reason why I'll give books a second chance, and Trillium is among, and especially Low, are among the best examples of that. And still, like with The Wake, it was, actually exactly like with The Wake, I don't like when the books get into the sciencey details, like scientific details, they're like, oh, the main inhibitor chip needs to go in here. It's like exposition. I hate that in books. I know it's necessary because they can't just have it just happen and be like, wait, how did that happen? You didn't explain how it happened. But I don't really care. I don't mind as much as other people do. And they're not writing for me. They're writing for everybody. But it's the characters and the story in their story and the story itself that's interesting with books like The Wake and Trillium. Wonder Twins. It was slightly better than the first volume, but it's one of those books that feels like a parody of DC Comics inside of an actual DC Comics continuity. It's like, and it's weird, like it seems like it's supposed to take place in continuity, but also it's a parody. And it was kind of like, it threw me back at first. I didn't expect it to be like that. I knew it wouldn't be super serious, like a Wonder Twins comic that's super serious, written by Mark Russell, yeah, right. But it was one of those things that threw me. It was like MCU levels, like, and how MCU humor, yeah, it's like a lot like that. It's the best way to describe it. Wonder Woman was just really good. If you liked Greg Rucka's original run, you'll most likely like. Oh, and here's the other movie, French Dispatch. I don't want to put that there. You like that. Green Arrow Volume 4. Was pretty interesting, but a lot happens, and it's kind of forgettable, I feel. I don't think I think it is just me. I think I just don't like remember exactly what happened. Maybe I don't know, but it's still good. Hey, where was Ghosted Volume 2? Hey, no. You said you had it. Oh no. Aw. They said they had it too. Oh shit. I was really excited for that. The Ghosted Volume 1 was really damn good. Because it says on my account that Ghosted Volume 2 is in, and it's on my checkouts. So I don't know if I missed it or what. Shit. I'm gonna have to call him in a second here. Outcast Volume 1 was also really good. And it's one of those books that was surprising because I thought I'd remember a lot of it and I'd be like, yeah, I remember that. What's the point of me reading this again? But there was a point. Wicked and the Divine Volume 7. This damn good series. It's again, it's it's a lot that goes on in this series. And I don't remember a lot of what happened still, and I feel like you really need to buy, or at least read all these series, at least have it at your disposal so you can remember, oh yeah, this happened in this issue, so I'll go to this issue, reread that. Refresh your memory. And it's good, because that makes it so you buy more of something you like, you know. Paper Girls was so damn good, and I cannot wait for that series to come out on Prime Video. It is an amazing, amazing comic. And if you have not read it, go read it. And yeah, what's weird is they had it, going back to the Ghosted book, they had everything in rubber bands. I don't, maybe the person that took out Ghosted put it on the bottom or something. Because that's happened on occasion. They've done that. Yeah, now it's one less book, which is kind of good, I guess, but it's annoying because, yeah, Paper Girls, absolutely a powerhouse of a book. Like, if you like sci-fi, if you like time travel, if you like books like movies like TV shows, Jesus, like Stranger Things, you'll enjoy this. I should have said Marvel Rising. No, Rachel Rising was extremely good. That was like, I'm gonna get the omnibus probably. But the only downside is it's not on Prime itself. You have to get it from a third-party seller on Amazon. So I'm gonna have to wait till either a second printing comes out, or until they restock on Amazon, because I don't mind paying like $60 to have it all at once, because it's a pretty thick book too. Letter 44 was absolutely tedious. It was a drag to get through. The artwork was pretty bad, but I only really noticed it because I had watched Near Mint Conditions review on it, and he had mentioned how it was, and I probably would have seen it myself, because the artwork is really weird at certain points. But everything about this book I kind of hated. It wasn't like it wasn't like an absolutely terrible comic like Squirrel Girl was. It was just a bore. I didn't care about anything in that book. The Deadpool series. So everyone hates the Dead President's storyline, and they say, oh, it gets better after that. And I'm like, I still like the Dead President's one. It's very interesting. It's very like fast paced. It's fun. I don't know why I don't like that first volume. I mean, it's a little bit. I feel like everything that's in that book is in the other books, and yeah, it gets a bit more serious, a bit more grounded in reality afterwards, but. And not like super serious, but like everything that's good about Deadpool is in the later volumes, and the Volume 1 Dead Presidents is a hell of a lot sillier, but that's what you want in a Deadpool book. And yeah, I would not, if someone said they like Deadpool when he's silly, but he also finds time to be serious and all that shit, I would say, yeah, this is definitely not the book to get if you want both. But it's super serious. It's super silly. It's super serious. It's super silly. And Volume 2, they get back to what people liked about the series, but I still like both, just the same. Peter Parker, Civil War. Now, this was the Civil War Spider-Man book I was looking for when I read J. Michael Straczynski's one, The Amazing Spider-Man one. This is what I wanted. Not so much focused on the event itself, but focused on how Peter Parker reacted to this, and how Spider-Man reacted to this. And the Peter Parker one gave me that. The Spider-Man one was, that's good too, because you get both the best of both worlds. You get his relationship with Iron Man, and of course how he reacts, moving away and having to be on the run. But Peter Parker, I didn't care about the Iron Man stuff in the Spider-Man one, and Peter Parker gave us none of that. I don't even think Iron Man makes an appearance. If he does, it's like 2 seconds. Ms. Marvel, Volume 3. It's good enough. I mean, Selden Ahmed's run, and this is coming from a guy who actually likes a G. Willow Wilson run, is nowhere near as good as a G. Willow Wilson run. There is probably a good reason why it got canceled. It's not terrible, it's not spectacular, it's just good enough. But I wanted a Ms. Marvel book, I got a Ms. Marvel book. I did like how it was a lot more grounded in reality when the Outlawed series comes into play, but it's 1 issue, 1 or 2 issues, and after that, it's back to normal Ms. Marvel, because they can't have it be too serious, because this is a comic for Disney adults, which, yeah, it is. But it's not too obnoxious, for me at least. I've read way more obnoxious books, like Squirrel Girl. Spider-Gwen Volume 0 was... I thought I read... No, I didn't. Was so damn good, and such a huge surprise, because I don't remember liking the series. I read like 1 issue of it, and I remember like kind of hating it, but I'm glad I gave it like a second chance and read the 0th volume. Apparently it gets worse, which I don't know how it could. I don't know how you could louse up Spider-Gwen. And she is a bit obnoxious. I will give her that. If someone didn't like the character because she was a bit too obnoxious, and the movie version is a lot better than the comic version, I would understand that, because she is like super obnoxious, and she has those like it's like, hey yo, eyes up on me, like that kind of obnoxious. That was all I had to say. Very obnoxious. But for the most part, it's not too bad. Black Widow, and it's not like all the time like Spider-Man or how Deadpool can get. It's like it's really when she's fighting the bad guys, and even then, like, it's quick, You could probably like gloss over it, and then you'd be all set. Black Widow Volume 2, still good. It's a good series. I'm glad I reread it, but it's just it's good. It's not. It's a great Black Widow book. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's just I feel like something's missing. I don't know. It's very fast paced. I liked the Punisher issue that was collected in here. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur Volume 3 or 4, 3. Duh. It's so. Actually, it did get. It's what I don't like about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and that is, I'm the bestest ever. Like, it's literally called the best there is. And she has a lot of those things where, like, yeah, of course, because I'm the best. That's why it happened. And it's like, shut up. Just shut up. But it's not too obnoxious, and it still gives you a good story. It still gives you a semi-likable character. Doctor Strange Volume 1. Even the modern Doctor Strange, I'm not, like, the biggest fan of. I'm not, like, I don't know. I read 1 issue, I think it was Donny Cates, and I really enjoyed that one, but other than that, I haven't really enjoyed much of Doctor Strange. I think it's more because the movies will make it better, because the movies, you go for the trippy shit. And in the comics, yeah, you can definitely, show trippy shit in the comic, and it'll come across as, like, it won't come across as weird or anything like that, and you'll get it, not like, it won't come across as, like, stupid and, like, gimmicky, 1 Month to Live, a very good comic, and I would say, I actually really recommend this one. It's a very underrated, no one knows about this book. I don't even think Human Condition knows about this book. And the first issue, I think it was the best issue, because it felt like an indie book, trapped inside a Marvel book in the best possible way. It felt like it was, like, trying something different, but they had different writers, so it got a little bit more, like, to Marvel standards of, yeah, this is definitely a Marvel book. But it's not in a bad way, like, it's still an interesting story. It's still, you get, like, the characters. The daughter I absolutely hated. The daughter was that super obnoxious one that just, like, hates everyone, and you find out why, and it makes a bit more sense, but they made her way too obnoxious, and way too, much of a bitch. She's a bitch, total bitch in the book. Mind MGMT. I It's definitely more, like, it feels like it's a first draft of a book. It feels like, maybe the first volume, maybe it's one of those series where the first volume really sucks, so not really sucks, but isn't as good as the rest of the series, and it gets better as it goes along. That first volume was kind of a slog to get through. I found myself not really caring about the characters or what was going on. I just wanted to finish it. They had things in the margin, so I really hated. There was no point in having that. It added a little bit to the story, but not much, in my opinion. Like, you could have excluded it, and you wouldn't have lost much of anything. And what else was I gonna say? Oh, and the artwork was terrible. I didn't like the artwork at all. It was very Jeff Lemire. It's why. Now I understand why people don't like Jeff Lemire's writing. Writing artwork, not writing artwork, because I understand why people don't like Jeff Lemire's artwork now because of Matt Kint's artwork. But I still like Jeff Lemire's artwork, but Matt Kint's just like, it's very sketchy and very like unfinished, honestly. In the background, sometimes it's like there's nothing in the background. And Sin City, damn good book. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about Sin City that hasn't already been said. If you have not read it, read it. And that is it.